MBTI is really one of the greatest, most valuable tools in the world. So if you don't have it, you're really missing out on making your existing relationships better, getting new relationships, and getting whatever the hell you want out of people. So I really don't suggest to be missing out on it, just simply because of how amazing it really is. And in this video, I'll try to explain it in as simple of terms, no jargons, no any of that. For anyone, I would explain it in such a simple way that even a child would understand it. So in the world, you have people, uh, and people like to observe, or they at least do it. I'm not sure if they like it, but they do it. And people observe it through concrete sensory data, whatever that really exists, whatever that you can touch, feel, see, that's there, it exists, and it's real. And you also have another perspective, another dimension of existence, which is not actual existence, which is guessing the existing. If you can't touch it, at least you can imagine it, or you can try to imagine it. If I'm on the bed, I can feel part of the bed, and the rest of it, I'm just gonna guess based off what I already know. Or sometimes I might just guess how a bed will look like, just and feel like, without actually being there. And that's what intuition is. It's guessing. Sensing is about actual data, actual existence. Intuition is about guessing, the sensing. And some are intuitive, so they prefer intuition, and some are sensors, so they prefer sensors. Everyone does everything. It's just what do you do first? And obviously, with observations, you have to make judgment calls and you have to decide. So some people like to decide with their feelings, some people like to decide with their thinking. They're both essential, just like intuition and sensing are essential to each other. Thinking and feeling are essential to each other, so you can actually make good judgments. Everyone does all of that, but just in a different order of priorities. If you're pretty good at one of them, you're gonna suck at the other one, and then the two others will be pretty balanced. So if you're balanced in judging, in making judgment calls, then you're gonna suck at actually observing the things which you're trying to judge. Because you're either too good of an intuitive, so you suck at sensing, or you're too good of sensing, so you suck at intuition. That's how it goes. And the other way around is obviously, yes, that's true. If you're a great thinker, then your thinking is pretty useless because you don't know where to put it. But if you're a great feeler, then great, you know where to put, but put what and how and what? You're pretty lost in this world. But at least you have a pretty good sense of what the world actually is, even if you can't start doing anything with it. And so, obviously, like I said, there's an order of priorities and an order of preferences, and here it is. You can read this for yourself. And now we go one more level of complexity. So each decider, thinker, and feeler, each observer, intuitive, and sensor has two sides, the introverted for each one of them and the extroverted for each one of them. So here you have all your introverted deciders or your observer, and all your extroverted deciders are all your. Oh my god! No, I did. I thought I broke it. I thought I broke it, but it's correct actually. Yeah. So thinker, feeler, sensing, intuition, introverted, and extroverted. Boom. Each one of them is called a function. So you have the function, the introverted thinking function, which is a deciding function, and you have all the other seven. You have a total of 8 functions. And each one of those functions is a spectrum. They're measuring. They're like a radar measuring in the world, in their world. And the introverted functions are measuring a very narrow path, a very narrow part of the spectrum, which is what you want, what you need. It's really about the one, the self, really. You know, when it comes to feeling, it's like you're measuring, okay, what do I feel? What do I want? When it comes to extroverted feeling, however, it's like, what does everyone want? What does everyone value? When it comes to something else, completely else, like intuition, when it comes to narrow intuition, it's not divergent, it's actually more like convergent. It's like, okay, so here are here's my way through the patterns. Here, this is the way. This is the path. But extroverted intuition is more like, okay, this that. Here are all the patterns. It's not just one. Here are all the possible interpretations, all the possible guesses. And it goes on like this with each one of them. And the order will always be introvert, extrovert, or extrovert, introvert, and so on with the functions. So if you have like TI, the next possible thing is gonna be NE or SE. Now you have jumpers, which are like double introverts or double extroverts. So the order will still be the same. So you'll still be like TI, NE, SI, FE. It's just that you prefer your TI and SI more than you prefer your TI and E. That's a bit too complicated for this video though. So here's an example. Like I said, TI and E, SI, FE, TE and I, SE, FI. Like I said, everyone does everything. It's just that, as you see, the thinker here, their own feelings matter the least to them. You know. And that's where the imbalance is created. And the order of your functions is your type. There are 16 core types, the ones that you know, and there are 16 more jumper types. So like I said, the double introverts if the type is introverted, or the double extrovert if the type is extroverted. And yeah, that's all you need to know to get started with MBTI. Here's another video if you want to learn more about MBTI. And with that, I'm just gonna head out.